Good morning, day 83, not 183. Choo-choo's birthday.
Hi.
Woo!
31.
31 years old. And we were in Hamburg. We stayed at the Microtel. It's taken us a little bit of time to get going. We had to get breakfast, treat my clothes with permethrin. We just went to Walmart. Now we're going to Cabela's to get a free ride back to the Port Clinton post office, which is next to the trail. And if there's a Dunkin' Donuts up here, maybe we'll stop there too, but not sure how close it is. The weather is iffy. There's heavy rain just to the south of us. They forecast rain this afternoon and evening, and frankly for the next couple of days. Listen to the forecast or the weather report this morning, and many areas had gotten 4 inches of rain in the last couple of days, and we've felt that it's been crap. But right now the weather's good. If it stayed like this, it'd be awesome. But it's not forecast to. So we're trying to hit the trail and make some miles. Talk to you later. Hey, good morning again. And it's almost noon time. Coming out of Port Clinton, there's a 1,000-foot elevation gain over about 2 miles or less. Very rocky. It's very much, rocks are very PA oriented, make things hard, but it's beautiful weather in some sense. It's overcast, but pretty bright. It's a little bit of a breeze. Temperature, I'd say, is around 60, which is good. I think this may be the first day I've hiked in a short sleeve shirt. I've been saving them for like camp clothes, so it's kept me from sweating even more, which I'm doing quite a bit right now. But the rain's supposed to start getting sporadic by mid-afternoon, but it doesn't look like deluges. So according to the forecast, I can handle that. So I think there's so many people that were holed up in Port Clinton. There's 2 shelters, one at around 6 miles, one around 15. My guess is they're both on the small side, probably both overfilled. So I'll probably be tenting tonight. I'm not a big fan of getting my tent soaked or camping or tenting in the rain. It's a pain to pack up a wet tent. He'll never dry, put it back in the bag. If you do and leave it there for too long, less than a week, I think it starts getting mildewy. So it's just a logistical hassle. Hence the reason for a desire to stay in a shelter in wet weather, for me anyways. And not everyone's like that, but I am. I think Choo-Choo is too. But just happy to move on and not get holed up too much. Mileage has been reduced for the last week because of all this wet weather. Really just plotting how to get from some shelter to some shelter or hotel or hostel to stay out of the heavy rain. Weatherman said they had 4 inches of rain in Port Clinton in the last 2 or 3 days. So it's a lot. And the trail is a little bit mucky and water backed up in some places. Other than that, it's tolerable. Happy to see more lady slippers on the trail. 2 here. Haven't seen that. haven't seen that many, but brings the total to 5. Oh gosh, here's 6, 7, and 8. Haha. 9, 10, 11. Wow, that's quite a bit of around here. Wow, it's nice. I guess when there's another. Ooh, you see it? Nice. So I guess when one's successful, it must drop seeds. Here's some more next to a Mount Laurel. How pretty is that? More. Wow. I don't know if I've ever seen such a concentration. They're everywhere here. along the trail. How nice is this? I'm happy I stopped to film. Makes me feel good, since when I climbed over the hill, there was just a ton of that invasive barberry, which I wish I could somehow figure out a national campaign to kill Japanese barberry. When I was in Hamburg and Port Clinton, you could see it in all sorts of office parks and banks. They use it for landscaping because they're kind of bulletproof. But those berries get taken by the birds, get brought out here, and then they suppress the blueberries that feed the native birds and bears and deer and everything else. So Japanese barberry, bad. Consider, if you have it in your yard, be a nice gesture to dig it up and get rid of it, and tell your local nursery to stop carrying them, because that's what's making the problem worse. And it's frankly the nurseries that are lobbying against Audubon and other environmental groups, that are trying to control the spread of barberries. But ironically, it's the nursery lobby that's fighting like heck against it, because it's such a successful commercial plant for them. But you know, there's others that could fit in that void. So if we just lower the demand, maybe that will improve the situation. Talk to you later. Hi guys, 1 o'clock in the afternoon or so, and there's a pretty good sized black rat snake. I think it's a black rat snake. I've never noticed. Whoa, he's shaking. He just shook his tail at me. I never got this close. It's interesting markings, but I still think it's a black rat snake. But it shook its tail. I've read they have that behavior. I don't think it's a rattler. But pretty interesting. 2, 3, 4.5 feet or so, maybe 5. But, oh well, livens up the afternoon. It's, I'm still about 8.7 miles away from the Eckville shelter. I just passed one small shelter. I didn't even notice it. I went right past it, better or worse. But it's not raining. It is supposed to rain this afternoon, and then occasional showers during the night. I really like to get inside, but we'll see. I mean, most likely that Eckville shelter will be full, but maybe I can squeeze out a spot on the floor. See you later. Oh, and there's Chew. Chew. It's his birthday today. He's 31. Hi guys. About 10 minutes to 2. Day 83 just came to what's called Pulpit Rock, elevation 1582. I'm meandering over to the side. There was also what looked like an observatory in the woods. Several tall round buildings with no trespassing signs on them, but looked like set up for telescopes. Maybe that would make sense here on a mountaintop. Look how pretty this is. Jeepers creepers. It's windy. Fortunately, the wind is pushing me back, not over that freaking hill. And I'm just peering over the edge. Yes, I get a little scared about this, more than when I was younger. But very windy, very nice up here. Wow. Who knows, maybe one of these hills is where I'm going tonight. I think I still have like 7 miles to go. Here's the birthday boy right here. Chew. What causes a pile of rocks to be created right in the middle of the woods? Literally covering a tree trunk. Very strange. Love to know if anyone watching has some ideas. Please let me know. This is very bizarre. Doesn't seem to be any accessible road around here, so it's a bit of a mystery to me anyways. Very strange. Woohoo! The trail this afternoon is, as Sue Easton, one of the subscribers, says, diabolical. It's been just really rough on your feet. All these rocks here just kind of sticking up, causing your ankle to twist every which way. Sharp edges, you feel like there's a screwdriver stuck in your foot. Yeah, it's fairly unpleasant. Oh well, what can you do? We're another couple of days and we'll get through Pennsylvania. And I've heard at least part of New Jersey is soft, but I don't know that for sure since I've never hiked there, but it sounds appealing and something to look forward to. Maybe give a chance to give my feet a rest. See ya.
No, that's pretty amazing. You did a good job.
Good morning, it's day 84. I'm here with our German friends, No Name, in Willow, in Fresh Ground, and Choo Choo. And we've been so fortunate to run into Fresh Ground again, and he made us an amazing breakfast. Had banana pancakes, had omelets, had 3 cups of Fresh Ground coffee. It's pouring outside, so we're going to take a zero at the Eckville. It's called Eckville Shelter, I guess. Mm-hmm. And but this guy over here, he's a saint, and he's a legend. Fresh Ground, and there's so it's all good. It's a nice start to an otherwise terrible, rainy, cold day. It's only about 50 degrees here. It's colder in the woods. So this is all good. Day 84. We're going to take a zero, most likely at the Eckville Shelter. See ya. Good morning. Day 85. Leaving the Eckville Shelter after a zero due to some really heavy rain. And heading out. Choo Choo's probably 10-15 minutes ahead of me. And we're hoping to go a little bit longer today, maybe 23. Go to a further out shelter. We've been warned the first 10 miles is particularly challenging here, so not quite sure what's going to happen. But again, day 85, Sunday, May 20th, about 10 past 7 in the morning. It's supposed to be a hot day. They say there's a chance of some thunderstorms in the morning, but right now it's overcast, and the woods are really wet, but it's otherwise dry. So day 85 begins now, what am I saying? And looking forward to what looks like a good string of non-cold, non-rainy weather. Awesome. Hi guys, good morning again. Been on the trail for about an hour, done a little over 2 miles, straight up a hill. It's very steamy and foggy out here. Water's dripping from the trees. And it's funny, after this last week, our mileage has really been constrained with these heavy, cold rains. We've been trying to dart from one shelter to the next, or to a hostel, any place that could give us a dry night. And those were usually at less than maximum mileage. So I think for just about everyone in the Eckville Shelter, there was a combination of angst and exhilaration to get back on the trail after the zero yesterday and make some serious mileage. And with a string of what looks like good weather ahead, it gives us the potential. So we're right now, Choo Choo and I, aiming for like a 25-mile day to the Outer Bridge Shelter. I think it's the George Outer Bridge Shelter. Not clear how attainable that will be. There's another shelter short of that, and this there'll be tenting options with this better weather. So, but I hope to put out some bigger miles, 20 or so every day until next Friday, when my wife Hannah and son Andy come down from Massachusetts to visit. My son is about to go off to Marine Corps infantry school, so be my last chance to see him for a little bit, and I miss him like crazy. Of course, I miss my wife as well. So Sunday now, Friday night I'll hook up with them and like to crank out some decent miles in those next, I guess, 6 days. These 6 days coming. But it's all good. The weather's passed, and feel good about what we're doing today and in the days to come. See you later. And this is the problem that you have when you hike after days and days of heavy rain. the optimist in me is trying to go around this. If once I get truly soaked, I'll probably just start marching through it, but for the time being, I'm trying to walk around it unhappily, I might add. Son of a gun. Eeh, gross. I don't want to step in this stuff. Whoa, that's not good. I'm gonna hit a tree. And I already feel my feet getting soaked. Bummer. Bummer, bummer, bummer. Oh well, soaked, mud. Yeah, you try not to hit the trees like I'm hitting, because when you do that, all the ticks fall down out of the trees on top of you. That's one of their ambush locations. Well, I made it through there. My feet are wet and muddy. Damn. Oh well, sorry. If I find some dry locations, maybe my feet will start to feel a little drier. The downside of getting your feet soaked like that is your feet start slipping and sliding around in the shoes, which makes it harder to do bigger miles. It just creates more fatigue and more bruising on your feet, which is frankly always present after a day of hiking, but it makes it much worse. So, yeah. Oh well, that's a good reason to try and stay out of that muck. See ya. Hey guys, I'm at mile 1246, Sunday, May 20th, day 85. This looks like a pretty cool view, so I decided to pop off the trail and come out here. Trail's been brutal, rocky. I don't know if I probably won't come back to Pennsylvania to hike. It's been really rugged on my feet. Not so much huge steep cliffs, but just in huge mountains, but just rocky. But yeah, we left the Eckbridge shelter. We're gonna go 20 to 24. There's the Overton shelter at, I think, mile 24. Heading back to the trail now, and but we may not stop. We may tent before we get there. So yeah. In any case, we'll do at least 20 today. Rain's held off. It's supposed to be not rainy, but it seems like pretty threatening all day. My feet are pretty dang sore from walking on these rocks. And other than that, things are good. Just stopped and found a restaurant at a highway crossing and got a burger. So on the whole, things are good. Talk to you later. Hi guys, the rock scramble continues. I'm in a section called the Knife's Edge, and I think it's aptly named. Trail's been pretty brutal, in desperate need of some maintenance. The brush is growing in on the side, the trees are coming down and hitting your head, none of which is good for a tick situation, since that's what ticks love to do, is be on those branches next to the trail or overhead. But boy, what a view. Ooh. But this is one heck of a scramble. What do I want to do here? I may have to put the phone down. Either get good pictures or live. One or the other. It's really something up here. It's attractive for sure. Sorry, I'm mostly looking at my foot placement and not looking at where the camera's pointing. Whoa. Jeepers. This is crazy. Yeah, the trail goes right up here, right at the very peak. And it looks like it goes, oh my God, I see it going for 100 plus feet into the woods. Maybe it goes a lot longer than that. So I'm gonna have to put the phone away and focus on not dying. But if I do go, what a view. Fantastic. These rocks are big and heavy, and some of them are still moving, or have moved when I stepped on them, which is unnerving. But let me start my rock scramble here and hope for the best. I'll check in later. Hi guys, it's about 5:30 in the afternoon. I've gone 21 miles. I'm gonna go another mile and a half to a tent site. So it's just kind of pretty. I've entered this mostly pines, with all sorts of blueberries You can see the blueberries starting to flower, and tell you, once those turn blue, the birds and the bears are going to have a field day. And the low bush blueberries are so tasty. Wild native blueberries are the best, super healthy. But I don't know if I'd want to be competing with bears around that time. But in any case, I'm getting close, mile plus or so. I'm not going to go to the Overton shelter. The description sounds too crappy. I've seen a string of kind of run down, dirty, clearly animal infested shelters, and even though I'm lazy enough, I like to really enjoy a nice shelter. It saves me some time packing up a tent in the morning, but I will discriminate a bit. And the last one that I just passed, the oven shelter, boy, that place looked a little scary. It was crooked, and you can all see all signs of all sorts of animal life there, and don't think I'd want to be sleeping in there by myself or even with others. So, day's almost done. It's been an incredibly rocky day. These rocks here are the easy peasy part of the trail, but wow, there was some hiking along ridgeline. They call it the knife edge. They should have called it knife edge 1, 2, and 3, since there seemed to be multiple rounds of that, separated by a few miles and interspersed with endless amounts of jagged rock. I fell 5 times, and the reason is I'm usually fairly coordinated, but in the deep woods the rocks stayed wet today, even though it hasn't rained, and my trail shoes have Vibram soles, and very hard sole, and they don't grip at all on mossy wet rocks. So down I went 5 times, and bruised and battered a little bit, but I think I'll take a leave when I set up my tent, start the pain reduction. Holy smokes, check this out. I guess it's like a duck blind or something, or a hunting blind. There was signs saying this, we're adjacent to private land, so this is probably private property over there, and that's probably something a hunter has set up so he can spot his prey. Interesting, very interesting. Whew. Okay, onward. Tenting on a ridge line, Sunday, May 20th, day 85, about 2 miles from the Overton shelter, which didn't sound terribly good. So we found a tent site here, right along ridgeline, and beautiful views, beautiful sunset. You can't see it quite here. I'm back on the trail, but it is beautiful, and it's a very nice, cool breeze. It's going to be a good sleep at night, which is great. And tomorrow's day 86, 2 days to Delaware Water Gap. Made good progress today. Fell down 5 times on brutal, slippery rocks, but other than that, had a good day, and happy it's coming to a close. Good morning, Monday, May 21st, day 86. It's a beautiful sunny morning. It's cool in the woods. I'm a little cold right now. It's supposed to go up to 80 today. Had a great camping spot last night. Yesterday, I think the rocks may have been the worst they've been in my 86, through that time, 85 days on the trail. Lots of problems. I did lose a few things off my pack. I noticed this morning things were attached with carabiners since I fell 5 times, and things were falling off and I was picking them up, but I lost my Leatherman squirt adjustable knife. It's $35, so I just ordered another one on Amazon, and a few other small items. I was very lucky. I didn't break my phone since I landed on my butt 3 out of the 5 times, and that's where my phone is kept in my back pocket. Unfortunately, Choo Choo was not so lucky. He fell on his phone and smashed the glass. Phone's still functional or workable, but it's a bit of a mess. So, man, these rocks in Pennsylvania really take a toll. And we have about 39 miles to the Delaware water gap, and that's a 2-day hike. And so hopefully we'll do around 20 today. There's a shelter at mile 19. I'm not sure how good it is, or how modern it is. The older ones tend to be fairly decrepit, like the bake oven shelter, worst shelter I've ever seen. And but regardless, it's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow. Not much, but if it's going to rain, I would always prefer to be inside a shelter. Though it was perfectly clear last night, my tent is still wet. It's hanging off the back of my pack. Maybe at lunchtime I'll hang it out or something, see if I can get it to dry a little bit better. Worst thing you can do is pack up a wet tent and leave it there deep in your pack. You'll get mildew on it fairly quickly. But regardless, weather's good, and should be able to make decent mileage today. I have no idea what the rock situation will be, but I am ever optimistic. At the moment, it's frankly pretty dang good. Let me show you. It's mostly pine needles with some rocks interspersed, but maybe this is a nice little exit from PA to soften the terrain. But we'll see. Whatever it is, we're going to handle. Choo Choo's behind me, but I'm sure he'll catch up. Talk to you later. Good morning. Crossing over the bridge. That's the Lehigh River. Ironically, there'll be no water for 20 miles, which is our longest stretch so far. And just came down a steep hill from our last water supply. You can see the rocks in the hill, which is indicative of the Pennsylvania terrain. All rocks. And, oh well, and there's Choo Choo in the distance in front of me. And it's a beautiful day. I'd say it's like 65 or 70. It's going to get hot, unfortunately. Hot is doubly unfortunate when you have a very limited water supply, but we'll make do. And but things are going well. It's about 9 o'clock, day 86, Monday, May 21st. Hey guys, I'm about halfway up this rock pile, sweating bullets. It's beautiful views. That's the Lehigh River, day 86. There's an airport out there for you aviation enthusiasts. Looks like a great general aviation airport. It's been really tough hiking the last few days, but the trail and the shelters weren't in the ideal shape. But my biggest wish is for the ATC and maybe a local hiking club is to create a water source that's somewhere along the trail, because having to go 20 miles on a hot, sunny day is not particularly healthy. I've got one kidney, and I'm going to have to be really careful about that today. I don't know, maybe there's just no water, but it would be awesome if there was like a well built or somewhere along the trail for this purpose. Maybe we'll find some trail angels. But regardless, trekking on, beautiful day. Find a way, the trail provides. Okay guys, I had to film again. I haven't got that far, but I'm pretty much near the top, and it seems to be a little bit better, but the last few hundred feet has been technical rock climbing. I've just had my poles dragging behind me on my wrist, all handholds. Frankly, when I was younger, in my 20s, I did some technical rock climbing, and if I didn't have to do this to get up this mountain to stay on the AT, I'd have declined. It was precarious, to say the least. But of course, no surprise, you can see all these beautiful crows and turkey vultures soaring here, and stupendous views. And man, I'll be happy to be off this rock pile and away from rocks for a while, but this has been unbelievable. That I was just practically straight up, and any sort of fall would have led to severe injuries, if not worse, because you might tumble off the mountain. Can't imagine what this would be like on a rainy day. Wow. Okay, I'm past that incredibly steep mountain. Now seem to be heading down the other side. It's mostly soft dirt. Looking into, I don't know if this is Palmerton. I also saw a sign for Allentown, but it looks like an old steel mill down there. I see some cars, but not a lot of activity. But yeah, look at all those people living down there. And I'm up here. It's a beautiful countryside. We're in a section of the AT that's been relocated. It's a Superfund site. This was a zinc smelting operation, I guess, around here. And I have to go an ungodly long time without water. So, yeah, just have to be careful with that today. But if the trail stays like this for a little while, my legs will recover from that incredible hill. That was really something. I could see some people not having the upper body strength, or maybe even the will, to go up there. There was a number of places just with really steep handholds, and the consequences of a mistake, of a loose grip, were pretty darn substantial. But I'm blessed I got past it, and I hope my fellow hikers behind me will have the same good fortune. Hey guys, heading up another steep hill, and I came across these flowers, which are everywhere, and as far as I can tell, they're called fumewort, or Pacific bleeding hearts is a more common name, and Pacific bleeding hearts, and needless to say, on the Pacific coast, but they're all over the side of the trail. Look very nice. Look like the flowers are a little bit past prime, but yeah, wow, they go all the way up the hill here. I don't know if the camera shows all the detail, but they did look quite nice. And don't see any bees on them, which may be more indication that they're kind of past prime. But it's nice to have a little color here as I hike amongst this zinc Superfund site. And I have been hiking on this beautiful stretch of soft dirt, and this appears to have abruptly come to an end. But this is at least pretty flat, and I'm not going to fall to my death from this, so it's all good. It's all good. Back to hiking. Good morning. Day 87. As you may deduce, it's raining out here. Moderate now. It was heavy just a minute ago. It's day 87. Yesterday, I think I may have said day 87, but today is the real day 87. I just left the Leroy Smith shelter full up, and it's allowed me to stay out of the rain. And today I'm heading to the Delaware Water Gap, which is about 20 miles, and looks like it's gonna be a rainy day and cool, not great hiking weather. So I'm just gonna try and stay on the move, and it's the best chance of keeping me warm. But it's fairly early, 7. I was ready to go probably at 6:15, but it was just coming down in buckets, so I waited for that rain to pass. Now it's let up a bit, so I'm off on the trail, and hopefully we'll have an uneventful 20-mile hike into Delaware Water Gap, and this will be I hope, my last day in Pennsylvania. I have to say, the trail has been very rocky, pretty uncomfortable for my feet for the entire length of Pennsylvania. The rocks were like nothing I've ever experienced in terms of their intensity and just sharp-edged, jagged rock sticking out of the ground. Really wears you down. But it's the morning, and as always in the morning, I'm feeling fresh and good and looking forward to a good day. Talk to you later. The trail was a little bit smoother today than it has been in past days, but in the last, since about 9 o'clock, all that has ended. 9 a.m. that is. It's just a collection of sharp-edged rocks sticking up, and yeah, man, this is slow going here. Heard from a nobo that I had met on the trail fell and broke her ankle in this yesterday, and I can see why. It's just so perilous, and it's such a terrible thing for any hiker to invest 80 or 90 days in their through hike and then fall prey to broken ankle. It can happen to anyone, and I don't want it to happen to me. Certainly not today or on this hike. I want to get it done, but these rocks are not ideal. Really hopeful that as I get to out of Pennsylvania, or Rocksylvania as many call it, that this will end. Although I don't know that for sure. Some people have said it's still rocky, just not as rocky. We'll see. Whether it's rocky or pavement, I'm hiking through it. So one way or the other. Hey guys, about 2 miles out of Delaware Water Gap. I'm about to go down a steep hill. It's all rocks, miserable rocks. And I think looking across the valley here gives you some indication of what's going on here. It's just upheaval of rocks everywhere. If nothing else, the rain has just really almost come to a complete stop, which is great. And it's 3:30, another hour or so, I should get into town, which I'm really looking forward to. Just a bit worn out here from the rain and the rocks and the 20 miles, I should mention. See ya. Wow. I guess I haven't seen the end of these green tunnels formed with Pachysandra. Amazing. I'd only seen these in pictures before, but certainly they started right at Springer, and here I am, almost on the New Jersey border, and it's continuing. Nothing like this up in New England where I'm from. I'm going to miss it. I won't miss these rocks when I live PA. Well, see ya.